Hi guys, this is the Hakuna Matata talk, and if it's your first time watching our video, thanks for watching, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you've been watching our videos, thank you, and thank you for watching us. And today it's another interesting day for us. I can say, as usual, we talk about things that, like, yeah, we go through, like real life stuff. But today is something about culture shock. Most of us, or with my friends I have today, we are going to talk about culture shock. And here, culture shock, we mean things that have really shocked us when we move to the countries where we are living now. I mean, we moved from our countries to go and live somewhere else. And there are those things like you experience and you're like, oh, what is that? I didn't know such things happen. So that's what we are going to talk about today, like what shocked us when we moved to other countries. And today I have my friends. I have who do I start with? I have Emily. Hi, Emily. Hi, and Emily lives in Belgium. Hi, Angel. Angel is joining us from the United States of America, and we have Catherine. Catherine is also in Belgium. Hi, Catherine. And we have Stuart. Stuart is joining us from the UAE, to be specific, in Dubai. So hi, guys. Thanks for joining us. Before we go on, this is a disclaimer. I would like to say that what we are going to talk about are just our views, what we think, what we experience. We don't need to, or we don't mean to generalize any situation. We don't mean to generalize any country, but this is what we made out of what we experienced when we moved where we are. So, disclaimer, check. Now we can continue. Before I go on, I'll first share my first shock, because I have lots of them. I'll share one of them with you guys. And this, when I came to Belgium in the beginning, I saw everyone riding a bicycle, like everyone, literally everyone. I don't know if you guys were the shock for you. And I was like, wow, everyone here rides a bike. How is that possible? But luckily enough, I knew how to ride a bicycle. So I could easily, jump on the same track like everyone else. And then months later, I remember calling my sister and telling her, hey, can you believe I still know how to ride a bike? And here everyone rides a bike. And then I told her, guess what? I bought a bike for myself. And she was like, you bought a bike or you bought a car? I told her, no, I bought a bicycle. And she said, are you celebrating buying a bicycle? I told her, yes. And for her, like, she didn't understand how important it was for me to feel like I fit in this Belgian culture. So you guys, how was it for you? Like, maybe, should I start with the Belgian guys? I want to hear if it was the same story. Emily, how was it for you? Like, what is that thing that shocked you in Belgium?
Okay, to add on the bicycle thing.
Yeah.
I came from Uganda also. I could ride a bicycle, but not confidently.
Yeah.
So I had to go for Netherlands lessons. And my man was like, Emily, you have to go with a bicycle or you walk. And it was 3 kilometers.
Yeah.
So I had to test the bicycle on the streets.
Yeah.
And I wasn't steady. I wasn't really confident with myself, but I had to. Okay, after some 2-3 hours, I was like, I'll go with the bicycle. Yeah. But come on the how do they call it? Bicycle road.
Yeah.
I meet people. Instead of ringing the bell or braking, I would just shout because I wasn't confident. But with time, I went on. I managed to be confident on the road, and now it's a daily thing. It's like walking or part of our life.
And how was it for you? Sorry to interrupt. Go on.
Okay, I was just adding on another shock. That was eating. The hours for eating were ridiculous. 4 o'clock was dinner. I was like, what is this? Eating at 4 o'clock? By the time it's 10 o'clock, I'll be dying.
That was dinner. You guys were eating dinner at 4?
At 4. And I still have neighbors around who eat at 4 o'clock.
And wow.
Yeah, by 4 o'clock you hear the smell of
the
food
smell,
and people knocking pans, and you're like, it's too early. Okay, with time I had to adjust my time, but 4 o'clock was dinner time. By the time it was 10 o'clock, my friend, I was dying.
But if I can add on the eating time, I remember my first job in Belgium. We were working, and then my colleague came to me at 12 at noon, and then he told me, you have to stop now. You have to go and eat. And I told him, but I'm not hungry. I mean, I'll eat later when I'm hungry. And he tells me, no, you have to eat now. And I looked at him, what do you mean I have to eat now? And he tells me in Belgium, everyone eats at 12. And I look at him, I'm like, I'm not, but I just didn't know. I said, I'm not hungry. I'll continue working. And when I'm hungry, I'll eat. He tells me, no, you don't eat now. You don't have your break. You have to work the whole day. So I was like, I went to eat. I was angry, but I didn't know if I was angry at the guy who told me, hey, you must stop and eat, or if I was angry at the situation, or if I was angry just because I didn't understand what was going on until later on. Of course, now, yeah, we all eat at 12. And how was it for you, Catherine, in Belgium? Like, what was that shock that you had?
For me, I think the bicycle thing.
Yeah.
The first time I came to Belgium was for working, and it was like a working partnership between my work in Uganda and here. Yeah. So a lot of people used to come here and back to Uganda and from the same company. Yeah. So they had already told us that they ride bicycles, they do this. So I was already mentally prepared.
Yeah, you were mentally prepared.
That I have to ride a bicycle. So that I didn't find like such a shock. But the eating also, I think like you guys have said, that also shocked me because we had to eat at 12. And then we had to eat dinner at 6, but it was not at 4. And lunch was a sandwich, bread. So that was, I found it so strange that I had to eat bread. You have to eat bread breakfast. Eat bread lunch. It was really difficult to understand, but that was the country, and now I'm used to it.
Okay, now we'll jump to Angel in the US. Like Angel, I know you've lived in different countries. I don't know which culture shock you would like to share with us, but what are those culture shocks that you've had to experience in all the countries you've moved to?
Oh my God. Culture shock, like I told you, this topic I can spend a whole day talking about. Yeah. So my first abroad stay was in the Seychelles. I don't know how many of you are familiar with that. It's the island. It's an island country, kind of off the coast of Kenya. So, well, Seychelles, my first shock was gender roles. I mean, gender roles switch like this. You know how in Uganda, the woman cooks, the woman prepares the kids to school, the woman, In Seychelles, it's the man. The man cooks, the man stays home, the woman goes to work.
And the woman goes to work.
And then it was so funny. And you would find me quarreling, like, how can these men, like you said, these are our thoughts. These are our
thoughts. We don't need to generalize any situation or any culture. It's what we experience.
Yes, and of course there are people I know where the gender roles were exactly the same as ours, but that is something that really surprised me. It's in that country, women have been so empowered that they kind of outgrew the men. So, like how we keep saying, okay, let's give the girl child a chance. Let's give the girl child, let's put them here. So I think in the process, the men were kind of forgotten. So now the men are staying at home. The men are doing the easy work and like, you know what, I'll stay. The woman will wake up. I mean, the woman is like director of a certain place. And then the man is like a simple, easier job. So which means their schedule is more flexible. They are the ones to stay home. That was a shock for me. Like, I could not bear it. So I'll be like, these may be a weak men.
Yeah, of course in Uganda it's the other way around. Most men work and then women work, but not, it's different. Also depends where you live. If you live in the city, both men and women work. If you live outside the city, most of the time it's the man who works. And I will jump to you in the UAE. Did you have some shock, like culture shock? How was it there? You can turn on your mic. Your mic is off.
Okay. Yeah, definitely it was shocking. I mean, I'm in a multicultural country where you rarely see the native Arabs. You get everywhere you go, Indian, Chinese, and everywhere. Sometimes it took me like 2 months to see the native Arab. Like it was a bit shocking. Then the food, the different cultures. You stay in a place whereby you're from like 10 different countries. Others are eating different type of food and stuff. So I mean, it's work. Get back from work and get to either your phone or your gadget, eat, work, and that was the order of the day. And then you work like when I was working in Uganda, we had team building, sports, and stuff like that, things that bring workers together. But here it's strictly you work, you go back to work, you go back to accommodation. Yeah. So it was a bit shocking, and yeah, that's what I can say.
Okay. And going on.
In addition to that, I would think, Cindy, I think in addition to like the working and just not going anywhere, in Uganda we have a lot of things to do, and I would also want to believe it's because we are there, we've grown up there, you have friends there, you have everything, but now you're in a different country. If you're staying alone, like all the years I've been abroad, I've always stayed alone. So it's the same thing. It's like you feel like you have made it. Now, like in Seychelles, it was a very tiny place in that you can go around the city in just like 4 hours and then you're done, right? Or you can get on the bus and ride the whole island. Those are the things I used to do because I just did not have anything else to do. Like the place is small. You don't have, the activities are basically the beach. What is your plan for the weekend? Let's go to the beach. What is the plan for tomorrow? Let's go to the beach. Like everything is let's go to the beach. I mean, that's like the thing you have to do. You do barbecue at the beach. You host visitors at the beach. So it was beach. Now in the US, there's a lot of things to do. Of course, we are talking about before COVID, you're all COVID is special, So before COVID, everything is open. There's a lot to do, but now the problem is I don't know where to go because everywhere is open. And then you hear all these stories. You can't just go somewhere alone. Or this area might not be safe. Or this area is safe, but then you don't know anyone. Like, I wouldn't just like go and hang out alone. That was also another thing. So it's like that balance of coming from a very small, tiny country to now a very big country. It's the shock of just not having a social life is very real.
When you talk about like now I'm trying to look at Belgium and then the UAE, like Dubai and because in Belgium I don't know if it's different because I know people here, I have friends here, but also for me it's I go work and home. From home, I go to work and then I come home. Now, of course, I work from home, but I mean before COVID, when everything was still normal, I never stopped anywhere like to say, hey, I'm from work. Can we drink something? Hardly did I do that. Maybe once in a while with friends, you could like say, okay, let's go have lunch together. And then I go back to my work. But this I've done like so many years later. But in the beginning, it was also like that work, home, and that was my life. And I missed most also the social life in Uganda is like over the top. Like everyone goes out after work. Like after work, everyone goes out to drink something, to hang out with friends. Before you can go home, there's nothing like from work to home. For example, in Kampala, it doesn't exist. It's from work, hang out with friends, and then home. But of course, it's completely a different story. And another thing that shocked me personally in Belgium, There are so many, but I'll just pick out a few. That was next to cycling and eating time. It was also, or it is also like how we sort garbage here. In Belgium, we sort garbage. Like paper has to be separate, plastic has to be separate, the boxes have to be separate, like oil has to be poured in a separate place, in a special place, glasses, like everything has to be sorted. You can't just mix it. You mix it, they catch you, then you have to pay. But like that's one thing I was like, in the beginning, I didn't understand it because you don't know even what to sort and what not to sort. But luckily, if you follow the integration course, you're taught how to sort garbage. But imagine people who don't like follow that course. You're supposed to know how to sort the garbage. You're supposed to know which paper goes in what bag. You're supposed to like all these things. Which days am I supposed to put the garbage outside? And here, I'm not talking about people who live outside the city or everywhere in the country. If you live in an apartment or in a studio or in the village, it's the same system. You must sort your garbage. So I can, you guys from Belgium, I know, like, you know that, but I don't, for me it was a shock because in Uganda, I mean, yeah, garbage is garbage, whether it's plastic or paper, garbage is garbage. But here I came in and I was like, whoa, we have to sort like everything. So how is it for you guys there? Like, do you do such things like that? Or what is it that shocked you other than the social life? I'll start with Stuart. What else shocked you? What was the culture shock for you again?
Yeah, they are controlled by fines. You cross the road, when there is a red light, it's a fine. You chew in the bus, chewing gum, it's a fine. No one is going to arrest you, no one is going to do anything. The only thing they have to do, anything wrong that is not lawful, there is money you have to pay for that. You know that to be set free. They catch you with alcohol, you have to pay. They get you drunk, you have to pay. Sometimes you can be, yeah, you're sure. I can.
Yeah, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'm also like, what's going on? I have to get a fine for drinking wine?
Yeah, you know, like if you're on a public bus, you're not supposed to eat or chew gum. So if you're in a public bus and then you're chewing or something in your coat, then you have to pay.
Even chewing?
Yeah, chewing gum, it's not allowed.
You can't chew in public.
On a public bus. You cannot start getting your snacks. You grab a burger, you sit in a public bus and you start.
Yeah, but also here, I think we can't eat on a bus. No, on a public bus. Yeah.
Yeah, they have pretty much fines for everything. When you're possessing alcohol, it's a fine. When you're drunk, it's a fine. If you're caught drunk without a license, then
let me pause you right there. What do you mean drunk? Do you have to get a license to be able to drink alcohol?
Exactly. You have to pay for the license to be allowed to drink or to waste your life. So.
Oh my God. I want to also ask, like, this is shock.
Yeah.
I have heard about UAE and the alcohol, which like is strict. But then now I'm wondering, so if you decide to say, go to a restaurant and, go to a bar, because I'm assuming the bar, because it's open, it already has a license. The person, myself, I also have to get a license to drink?
Yeah, there are places that are licensed to sell alcohol. You can drink from there, get wasted from there. If you're a tourist, you can get away with it. You get. But if you're a resident and you don't have a license, then you have to dance to the tunes of the punishment and everything.
But let me ask, I mean, like here also, if you're caught drinking and driving, you pay. I mean, you get a fine and stuff. But I mean, you're free to, you can drink 1 or 2 bottles, glasses, not bottles, glasses. But yeah, or you can drink and just walk home as long as you're still in a good shape. But there is police controlling, like specifically for people who are drunk.
No, not exactly that. But the fact is that if they suspect that you've been drinking and then they find that you've taken either 1 or 2, but you've taken alcohol, or someone like is suspicious and they check, then they find you with a bottle of alcohol, then you have to pay for it or spend like 3 months in prison, I guess, 1 month, something like that. Yeah.
So the alcohol is not sold in the supermarkets?
No.
Wow, that's a shock. Okay.
In the supermarket, you find non-alcoholic drinks.
Yeah.
You can find the Guinness non-alcoholic. So you can.
Okay. You can. Okay. Okay. That's something also. So you can buy stuff, but non-alcoholic.
Yeah, non-alcoholic. Yeah.
Wow. That's really that's a shock. Even just hearing it is for me a shock.
You go to Dubai. Don't forget to get yourself a drinking license. I'm curious, how much do you have to pay for the license, and how long is it valid? Is it like every year or every week you want to drink, or?
No, like it's I think it's 2 years. Usually things are given to 2 years. So if you have a residence for 2 years, you can get a license of drinking at least valid for 2 years. Yes, but if you have a license, even if you say on the road, they will just check you, find you with a license. No. Then another thing, the good bit of it, Dubai is secure. You can sleep on the street. You can lose your wallet, throw it somewhere, start full of money, and sorry about that. You can lose your wallet that's on the road or on the bus or anything, full of money, and you'll be called to come and correct it, and you find everything inside. Yeah, so that side is okay. You can sleep on the road.
Cynthia, you're muted. I see you talking.
Okay. I was like, that's a good. Of course, that's a good thing. Like losing your wallet or your bag, and then you come back the next day and get it. That's
stealing is like okay. When it comes to crime, it's like I think 1%. You know where you lose it, but if you find someone, then they have to deport you.
I saw the case. That's a nice. So it's safe. In short, it's like you feel safe everywhere. There's no like, don't go there. It's not safe here. It's because that you find almost crime, especially in big cities.
In that corner, you can go there. You decide to sit like somewhere, you can sit and be there. No one will punch you or something. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's really nice. So Emily, what shocked you? Tell us in Belgium when you first came to Belgium.
Greeting. When when I first came to Belgium, okay, I used to go walking with a dog. But in Uganda, when you find somebody, you say hello. I would say hello, but the people wouldn't answer. And I was like, I think I didn't say it loud. The next day I go, I find out, hello, nobody answers. I ask my partner then, what's happening? People don't answer when you say hello. Oh, no. People here don't say hello to each other. Okay, I put that aside. I get visitors. I practiced how to welcome the visitors. I welcome the person. You're welcome, like we say in Uganda.
Yeah.
The people don't answer you, but they are happy. They just come inside. Oh, they sit. I think I said it wrong because I'm learning the language. I repeated it and I said, no, Emily, give up. I think people don't do that. You know how we welcome people. You're welcome, blah, blah, blah. No, here they just, you open the door, they come in, or they are like really close friends or relatives. They give a peck on the cheek before COVID.
Yeah.
And I was like, Emily, give up. Until now, I told my daughter about it. The girl laughs at me until this day. Every time she sees me, she will welcome me in Netherlands. I say, Maureen, please give me a break. I was learning.
Wow, that was actually, I never paid attention to. For greeting, I know, but I can say, I think it's individual. I can say, because some people greet, some people respond back. I think it's I can personally, I can't say that people here don't greet, but I think it's more individual character. Like some people would greet and others will not, and others will respond and others will not. And I also noticed that sometimes you say good morning to someone and they don't respond, but I learned to know that it's not because they don't want to respond, but they didn't expect you to greet them. Understand? So by the time they said, did that person greet me, you've already passed. Because in the beginning, I also used to think, I say hello to people and they don't respond. But I came to understand that it's not that they don't want to respond, but they don't expect it. And when you've passed, it comes to them, oh, this person said actually good morning. Because I asked some people and I said that it's because it's that. They don't expect it. And when you say it before they can know, you've gone. And then you stay with these questions. But I think it's really, it depends on someone from one person to another. Like they're all different. I think I came to learn that people are different. Yeah. And Angel, would you tell us like your number one place, like your number one shock in both countries, or you can choose one? What was that number one shock, culture shock for you?
What would qualify as number one? Of course,
what
the gender
shocked you the most?
Like the gender roles, that one, I've already talked about it. It was my ultimate shock. But then I also got to learn that why they do that is simply because the history of Seychelles, men used to be, it used to be an island where they would bring slaves, and so they used to like the colonialists, we're not going to, they used to like come, take the men go to fight wars and everything. So the men were taken away and the women were left home to vendor for the family. So when the men returned from the war, then it's like they've already served the country. So they literally didn't have to do anything more. So I guess the culture ended up being like that. What shocked me the most when I came to the United States, the people. That USA people are fast. When they say fast, it is even an understatement. It's like life is like, let's go. I'm like, okay, cool. They don't waste a minute. They don't want the second. I mean, they've said the meeting is at 8. It's like at 7:59, everyone is there. We are ready to go. There is no waiting. You can't wait for even a single second. So for me, that was too much. Adjusting from a very laid back Seychelles, we have all the time in the world. I mean, we are on an island. What are we going to do? Is the ocean going to cover us? No, we are taking our time. And then you come here, it's like, let's go. It's pace. Lunch break, that for me, 20, I think it's 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Given a lunch break of 25 minutes. Remember in Uganda, they give us like a whole hour and a half.
1 hour. In Uganda, there's 1 hour break. Yeah.
And remember, you're not even in charge of anything. It's your lunch break. You can even drive out of the school. Here, it's like you have 25 minutes, but even in those 25 minutes, you're expected to like do lunch duty, oversee the kids as they are eating, make sure they are in the right places, they are not fighting, and you're also expected to be having your lunch in the system. So for you guys, when you say that you cannot, like in Dubai where they say you can't eat in public, here it's very normal because that's the only time you have. If I'm looking at kids, I'll just have my sandwich, I'll be having my lunch as I am monitoring the kids because I only have 25 minutes in a day. So I can't afford to just not have my lunch, which I still cannot do. I just bring my water bottle. I'll drink water for lunch if I have to do any duty because it's so, not comfortable eating in public. So for me, it's the fast life in the US. It's too much.
Too fast for you. And Kathy, what is that one thing that really shocked you in Belgium? Next, of course, to eating on time and cycling and sorting the garbage, what is that other one shock for you in Belgium? Catherine? Catherine, we can't hear you. Oh, I think she's a little bit, we can't hear her. All right, we will move on. For me, and Belgium, I have like so many things that like have shocked me in Belgium. One, you talk about time, but in Belgium, it's also the same. We don't have, life is fast here as well. We don't have a lot of free time and stuff. But then there's for me, on what shocks me still does is appointments. Everything here is done on appointment. And when I mean everything, I mean even visiting your mother, visiting your brother or your child. You have to call and ask, are you home? Can I pass by? You literally have to make an appointment. You can't just come like that, hey, I was in the neighborhood and I came to say hello. It does not exist here. Like, trust me, I see you, Emily, laughing, you know, that's how it is here. Even if it's your brother, really, even if it's your brother, even if it's your mother, anyone, boyfriend, anyone, you just call, and let's say, and say, are you home? Like, you can even call a week before. Are you home next Sunday? I would like to pass by. And then, like, you literally have to make an appointment. Leave alone the official appointments. That's normal. But even between friends and family and closest family, you still have to make an appointment. So that's how, now I'm used to it. I find it normal. I mean, yeah, it's okay. It keeps you also, your days planned well, your schedules planned well. But in the beginning, for me, it was a shock. I was like, how do I make an appointment to go and visit, like to go and visit your mother? You call and make an appointment? Like, for me, that's one of, yeah, it's also up there in the biggest shock that I had in Belgium, making an appointment. How is it there, Stuart? How is it, of course, how is it in UAE with appointments? I mean, with friends and family and, oh, yeah, how is it?
It's a bit hectic. You can be in a place since the work is usually the off days we have is a Friday. And for the first time when I came here, I went to Abu Dhabi as well. And for the whole year, I did not have time to step in Dubai because you only have time for Friday, and then you find traveling from Abu Dhabi to Dubai and then coming back, you have only 1 day off. So it's really, really hard. You can stay with someone when they're staying nearby and you spend ages without seeing them. Unless when they're off day, someone calls you and they tell you they're off, and then you make up time for them. But it's not, you cannot guarantee that since you come here, I'll be seeing you maybe whenever more for something. It's not that easy as well. It's in
so it's also an appointment. So one has to make an appointment to visit.
Exactly. So that you schedule for them and know when you can or not. Yeah. But I think it's a good way.
Yeah, I know. I find in the beginning I used to find it strange, but like now that I've gotten into the system and I'm used to it, I also wouldn't want someone to just show up on my door and say and then, in the beginning I'd say, how do you make an appointment to go see your mother? Go see your brother. But now I understand. Also, if you want to visit me, let me know so that I can prepare something for you. Or I make time for you. Make myself free for you, not just to show up and say, hey, sorry, in Uganda, I remember those days, a visitor would come, and just when they reach, you're already dressed up, and you say, hey, sorry, but we are going out to a party or something. And the best they could say, hey, you can come along, But then in the meantime, you've not had time to talk to your visitor, But on that part, I find it really nice that, you have to make an appointment so that you prepare yourself for your visitor, give them time. And I find that's okay. But I don't know how you guys, it was for you. Was it a shock? Like Catherine and Emily in Belgium, that things were done like that?
For me, I didn't find it a shock. I think I'd already heard about it, that people outside Uganda do that. So I didn't find it so much of a shock. Yeah. Yeah. And I think for me, the biggest shock that I found from Belgium was how they celebrate their birthdays here at work, like at work or with family. And instead of you getting the gift, you have to give the gifts. Yeah. Like the first time I was at work, it was my birthday, and they said, I told them it's my birthday, and they said, you haven't brought something for us. I said, why aren't you supposed to give me something? And I said, no, here, when it's your birthday, you have to give like maybe cake or cookies or
at work.
At work, or like candy, things like that. I said, I didn't know. I didn't know, but yeah, that's something normal here. Or like if it's like my mother-in-law's birthday, then she takes us out to eat, something like that. So I was like, in Uganda, you have
the other way around.
People take you out to get the gift. Yeah. So that was something
your workplace, they buy for you a cake.
Yeah. No, here you have to buy the cake. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I found shocking.
Yeah, Emily, you told us your biggest shock.
My biggest shock was about transport also. You know, in Uganda, you jump on a taxi anytime you come out of the house, there's a taxi, they fight for you. But here you have to be on schedule. You have to know when the bus is leaving, when the train is leaving. And I stay in a small village. So the bus passes every hour. When you miss it, you wait another hour. So if you have an appointment, you've lost everything.
Yeah.
And if you can't drive, if you can't go with a bicycle, you're finished. So you have to keep time for the bus. And on weekends, there is no bus at our place. Saturday, Sunday, we have no bus. Wow. So if you make plans for those 2 days, you're finished. You either have to walk to go to the train station, or you have to have a bicycle to reach wherever you go, or a car.
Wow. That takes me to when I just came to Belgium. If there is one thing I learned so quickly was to keep time. Because like you said, you miss a bus, like you miss a bus 1 minute, it's gone. That means you miss all your next appointments because the buses here come on time, like 10 minutes after or 20 minutes after the hour. So you have to know if your appointment is at 10:30, you have to take the bus at 10 because the next bus will probably be between 10, and then you reach your appointment 10 minutes later. So literally you have to calculate. And that's one thing really I learned in the shortest time. Like that's the first thing next to moving around with a bicycle, that was keeping time. Like you're even forced to keep time. Even if you can't, you have. And I don't know, how is it in US, like where you live, in the state where you live, Angel, with time and means and stuff?
Yeah, of course, time. And I think these are some of the things that we get to learn because we've traveled abroad. Like these are things even though they are shocks, but I appreciate them. You've been talking about making appointments. I love the fact that you make an appointment with someone, even if it's your family member, because it's a way of showing that I know you're a busy person, so I want you to include me in my schedule. It's not just about showing up. If you're going to prepare a dinner for them, you need to have that in your budget. Make sure you've prepared enough food. Not like when a visitor comes, then they serve them all your food, and then the kids will be like, you kids can wait. We'll just go and boil for you some rice. It's just like, no, we're already hungry,
But back home, it's still the same. But back home, that's also our culture. It's still the same. You don't make appointments, you just show up. And if
it's not fair to make the kids wait for another round of food when they've been there the whole time waiting to eat. So yes, keeping time is definitely very important. Luckily enough, or unlucky, in South Carolina, it's a small state and it's kind of laid back, very few people, we are not a very big state. And so the bus system is there, but it is also not very reliable in terms of it's only in the big cities, the smaller towns, the other areas, you just have to have a car, you have to have other alternative means, you know. So for me coming here, it's like the first thing they told me, you have to get a car. You can't even, we don't even ride bicycles because oh my God, the place is like so huge. Like there's no way I'm going to ride a bicycle anyway. So the option here is just to own a car. Whether it's just own that car, even if it's from 1990 or it doesn't matter. So it's more of the cars. We have personal cars. The buses are there. They're also on time, but now the scheduling is wider. It's like only rush hour. That's when you have more buses available. Other times in between, there are fewer buses. So it's always better for you find in a household, the parents have cars, the kids have cars. It's like everyone just has to have a car.
Because that's the easiest way to get around.
Yes. But in Seychelles, that was the best. We had buses, but you guys, I kid you not, there is curfew for buses. Like, because even the drivers have to go home. So if you were in town, the last bus was 8:30 p.m. I kid you not, 8:30 p.m. Weekday, weekend, whichever day. Actually, I think like weekends it stops like at 7 because they're like, people also have to go for. So if you want to go out, get a taxi. You call up a taxi guy, the taxi guy will be like, today I'm not working. Like, island people are special. I love this. We're like, today I'm also not working. I'm out on a party. I'm at the beach. Okay. Transport in Seychelles was a little bit more challenging because of the schedule. The buses have to stop at a certain time. And then the taxis, the pirates, they're a little bit way expensive. So going out, you have to plan for a taxi. You have to make an appointment with the taxi guy to make sure they are available. You have to just be sure.
But when you live there, you get used to the system, and you get into the system, and you know what to do.
You're like, it's getting to 8:30. I need to be at the bus station.
And then it gets easier once you get in the system. So now moving from our culture shock and what we've experienced in different countries, what is that one thing or one which was a culture shock, but it turned into something you admired the most? Like, what do you admire the most about the culture of where you live? Like, personally, I would say there are two things, there are so many things that I admire about Belgians, but there are two that for me, that are completely different from when I look at Uganda. First one is how the elderly people, how their sense of style. You people, the older people, they are like, they can dress up. You see someone of 80 with their lipstick, with their nails done, with their hair done, like they go to the salon every week and they dress up so nicely and smart. And I always admire them on the street. Like I see them, I say, wow, she's well dressed. You look at her, from her hair is done, nails, lipstick, makeup, everything. Like 80, I'm talking about someone 80, 85. And then I look at Uganda, when you're above 60, your chapter is closed. You know what I mean? Like, that's the truth. And when I look at how older people are, they dress up, like their life is already has passed them. I don't know why, maybe it's our culture, it's like that. But when I look at the elder hair, how smart they dress, I admire that about their culture. And then secondly is following the rules. You guys here, like everyone follows the rules. Everyone is so disciplined. You have to follow the rules, if someone is watching or not. And then comparing to Uganda, in Uganda, if someone is not watching, trust me, like who cares? Even if people are watching, like no one cares. I'll give like a simple example. If it's in the night and it's a one-way drive with a car, the driver will look left to right. There is no car. Trust me, he will drive. And when I was in Uganda, he would just drive in the one way, and no one will even ask. But in Belgium, whether someone is watching or not, no one will drop garbage on the street. No one will drive in the wrong direction. No one will, like, everyone is responsible for the law, and that I admire about them. And yeah, and if you once you live here, you take it up as well. Like you can't do it. You have to be responsible. You have to to keep up the standards. You have to follow the laws, and that I admire about the Belgian culture. And how about you, Stuart? What is one thing you admire about the culture in UAE?
I admire that because here people respect traffic. I mean, people respect the rules of out on the road because you make a mistake, it's a big fight. I mean, if it's a zebra crossing, it's a zebra crossing. It's not like Uganda. Uganda, you cross on a zebra crossing when you're looking right, a car can knock you off. But here, when you're in a zebra, you can walk as a boss. And then another thing I admire here the most is the way UAE government works. I mean, you go everywhere, it's foreigners. They're the ones doing business and everything. You can do business here without a native Arab sponsoring you. So, and for them, they work on only government. Like if you go to immigration and everything, that's where they work. But these other businesses, it's foreigners running things.
Anyone can do whatever, yeah.
Exactly. Then another thing I love the most about here is that a native Arab is the first police. If you're breaking the law and a national gets you, they can take you to the police. So you respect them. Yes, they can arrest you. You understand?
Well, they are not police.
The first police is the native. So it doesn't matter whether police is there or not. As long as you're doing something wrong and the person gets you, they can arrest you because they have IDs. They will show you CID. So you will not know who is police, who is not.
Who is not.
I like that. Then they make the best use of their camera. Dubai, everywhere is a camera. There is no dark angle. Apart from the toilet, everywhere you are, you know you're being watched. And
so no wonder it is safe.
Yeah.
That answers why it is safe. So if you pick a wallet, the camera would have seen you anyway.
If you drop it in the bus has camera. So, I mean, it's one thing
that you really admire the most. Okay. And Catherine, what do you admire the most about the Belgian culture?
I think there are a few things that I admire. I think a lot of you guys have said there is a lot of safety, I think, in the countries where we are now, compared to like Uganda or Kampala. Like in Kampala, you could be like in public transport, someone comes, grabs your phone, grabs your bag. But there's that thing of when you're walking on the street. Okay. Sorry, I hadn't met it.
It's no problem.
I thought I was still unmuted. Yeah. So it's you feel a bit safe here. You can walk with your bag open. You can have your phone when you're talking in your car, things like that.
And then you're not worried that someone will grab it off your ear. Yeah.
Yes, that's one thing. And I also, the recycling thing is also something that I admire.
Yeah.
And also the way that they spend their holidays. In Uganda, when you're like on school holiday, you'd still have to go to coaching or something to still go and study. When you're like, when the term is closed, or you stay at home, your parents go to work, you're at home watching TV, doing nothing. But here in the school holidays, the summer holiday, people go away to other countries, you visit different places.
Yeah.
That I also find something very nice about their culture. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah, and Emily, what do you admire the most about the Belgian culture?
Okay, as you said, people respect or follow the rules.
Yeah.
They make roads. They will say, we are making that road today. People obey. Nobody's going to pass. There's no one walking. Let me go through the road. And the way the roads are made, they take years. Okay. Yeah. The only thing that breaks the roads here is the weather. When it's too hot, It's not good for the roads. When it's too cold, it's also, but they make sure that the roads are maintained. So whether you're riding a bicycle, you're on a smooth road, you know where your money goes as a taxpayer. Leave alone our place down there, you pay taxes and everything. At the end of the day, you don't know where your taxes go.
I know. And Angel, what do you admire the most about the US or about the Seychelles? One of them. You can choose one.
Oh my God. I think I've learned so many lessons being everywhere. But definitely the thing of time. I have got to also learn. I just need to be on time. Like, we have things to do. You don't take people for granted. You don't just show up and fix yourself in their schedules. So that respect of time is very, very important. I admire definitely the fact that there are rules and rules are followed. Traffic rules. I always tell myself, I do not know if I'll ever manage to drive in Kampala, because it is like there is a traffic light.
I know.
Like, if I can stop on a traffic light, how? What am I supposed to do? You know? And so when I'm here and I see that there's a traffic light and I can stop, and everyone stops, even when there are no other cars, even when there is no one crossing, you have to stop. You just admire the fact that there are laws and they are really being and I guess now that also brings us to the fact to the fact that I also appreciate the fact that you don't need to be told what to do.
No.
Things are there. You just need to follow it.
Voilà,
so that self-discipline,
it comes naturally. Once you get into the system, it comes naturally. Like, to do the right thing, you take it upon yourself. You just do the right thing, whether someone is watching or not. It's just what you must do, the right thing, and eventually it becomes normal. You know. So,
and I think that's where our country is failing us. Like, we are failing our country, or the country is failing us, or I do not know. We are failing each other.
So for today, that was our chat from the Hakuna Matata talk, and we just decided today we'll share those culture shocks that have shocked us. And thank you guys for always watching our channel and our videos, and we'll see you very soon. That was it for today. Bye bye.